Hello. In our last episode, what we had done was we had created an array of integers of some size. We had asked the compiler to compute the size, that is the count of integers inside the array by looking at the array's entire size and then the size of one integer. We wrote a function that if you give us an array R or any array of a fixed size, of, say n, we could call show. Show would take that array, any array, as long as we know the size of it, an array of integers. We'd start with item 0, go to the last item, one at a time. We'd print out an item from that array, skip a space so it looks nice, and then we would ask what number item are we printing out from 1 to n, 0 to n. We divide it by 3. If you look at the comment here, recall that any I divided by 3, remember, this is a remainder we're asking for. And I don't care what number it is, you divide it by 3, there's only 3 possible answers. The remainder is 0, the remainder is 1, the remainder is 2. If we get to the remainder 2, the only way we could have gotten there is if we passed 0 and 1. Because this will be 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, every time I hits a multiple of 3. So I'll ask a question. When I divided by 3 has a remainder of 2, I must be up to this number. I must have printed 3 new i's, so therefore we skip the line. Then we asked the question, could we find the maximum value in any array? And here we made up a name R. Remember, it's a dummy variable. We know the size of the array. We assumed the first number, number 0, is the highest. Then we started at item 1, went to the last item, and if the new item we're looking at is bigger than the item we thought was the highest, we then say, okay, I was wrong. This new item, we make a copy of the new item and send it into highest. When we're done with this loop, highest will be returned. And then the assignment was to work on a min value. And the min value was just flipping this relational operator around. And of course, then I changed the name from max to min, and I changed this local variable's name to smallest. I did some test drive code here. Here we have the array R, same one as before. You could change it. I compute the size of R with the compiler. I display what R is, so I get to see all these numbers nicely lined up in groups of 3, group of 3, group of 3. How do I know that? Because we just wrote this code. Then I ask max value. Here's R. There's the size of it. Look through it and give me a copy of the number that's max. I do the same thing here with minval. Give it the address of R. Where's R? Here's R. It says, okay, here's R. Go through the whole thing one at a time, up to n, and tell me what the minimum was. And we print it out. Compile and run this code to test it. I think I hit the wrong key. No, I hit the right one. There you see our numbers printed out from 2 all the way up to 457, 457. The max value is 8. We can look and confirm that. And the minimum value we look and we confirm is 0. What's the next thing we might like to do? There's something really fancy here. Notice these two functions are exactly the same. Some of you might be saying we should use generic programming or templates. Yes. But I want to show something a little interesting, I think. I'm going to, well, not get rid of this yet. I'm going to replace this and this with a function. I'll call it foo because I can't think of a really good name. And foo will have 2 parameters given to it. This is what I'm thinking. And we don't know what foo is yet, but I'm going to tell you. it's going to be true or false. This foo will tell me, is arg higher than this? If true, I'll replace it. If not, I'll leave it alone. So I'm going to write a function called foo right up here. And I'm going to say it's going to return a bool, true or false. And we don't give it an array value. I just give it an integer, a. And I don't know if the other one's the highest. I'm just going to call it b. So as far as foo is concerned, this is a. And the next number here, or variable, is b. So here's foo. Foo sees a and b. Great. What do I want it to do? I want it to do this. Return if a is greater than, I said if a is greater than b, tell me true or false. All right. Now, I want to get foo in here, but I don't want to do it this way. I'll leave it that way for now. And let's see if I can run this program with foo as a global variable. I'm going to compile. First, I'll make some space in here. And I'm not going to be using this in a little while, so I'm just going to like chop it out and put it on the bottom. And it's not good manners, but I'm going to do something really simple. I'm going to run the same code, except min is gone. So for now, I'm going to comment out min. Compile and run this thing. Eventually, my slow computer will compile and run this. And now, it's giving me the same answer. Max val is 8 using this function. Now, what if I didn't have to use this function? What if I could change this to different functions? What if right here I could do this? Bool, parenthesis, I'll just call this f, I'll put a star there. And then I'm going to open brace and I'll say integer, comma, integer. Something really weird looking. Whoops, I put that in the wrong spot. My apologies. Wrong language. All right, so here, this says f. This f is a pointer, and it points to a function that accepts 2 input parameters and it returns a bool. I'm going to change foo to just f. This function f and this thing now match. And here I have foo. I still like foo. Now I'm going to come down here, and you notice there's a red line there. It's very upset. It's looking for a function. And the function I'm going to give it is foo. I'm just going to type the name of foo. It's like the array. I just typed the name of r, and now show knows where r lives. When I type the name of r, max value knows where r lives. When I type foo, max value will know where this function foo lives. And it knows what it looks like. It looks like this. And notice there's a pattern. Bool, name, integer, integer. Bool, some name, integer, integer. Now if I compile and run this program, I'll just hit a couple of keys. It works. Now, instead of calling this max val, I could just call this, I'm going to call it val. I'll do something really a little weird. I'm just going to call it val and use the same function name. I'm going to write 2 other little functions. I'm going to write foo and boo. I'm going to change this now to val. So I have a function now called val. You give me an array, tell me how big it is, give me a function, and I'll give you the value you want. If you want the high value, I'll give you the high value. If you want the low value, I will give you the low value. You just have to tell me what you want, how to do it. So I'll put B here and A there. Oops, A. And change this to boo. So now I have foo and boo. This function really doesn't care what it gets. Just give it something that matches. Now here I have foo and boo. And I'm calling this one my min and this one my max. Let's see if this works. And if you take a look at it, I'm now able to control my function, val, by giving my function a function. Very powerful technique. Next, we'll look at lambda functions, where you can actually write the function in line, in the code itself. The other thing you should do is refactor this. For example, and this is Studio, Microsoft, I go to rename, and I could call this, key, because I couldn't think of anything better. And it changed everything here to the word key, so it doesn't look weird, highest, because we really don't know what this function f is looking for. If you want, we could call it fun. So I could refactor that, right-click, rename, call it fun. That's the only thing that changed. And now I have this fun program. And I no longer need this. Poof, it's gone. So I have one function. And I control the function by inputting it other functions. I hope this was helpful.